good evening, and welcome to Raising Cane's for the Cougars Coaches Show. We're here live at Raising Cane's, giving us support here in Byron, Mississippi. Definitely come on, check them out at 7395 South Sawell Road in Byron, Mississippi. Let them know that you're here to support the Hillcrest Christian Cougars football program. Football season is here in the midst, and I know that everyone is enjoying the football. I'm not going to be biased. I know Raising Cane is definitely tied to with New Orleans. I'm a 49ers fan, as you already know how we roll. But, hey, we thank them for their support. So definitely stop by 7395 South Sawell Road in Byron, Mississippi, and let them know that you're here to support the Hillcrest Christian Cougars. But I am the host of the show. I am Bernard Moore III. And joining me today is the head football coach. Coach McDavid is going to share with us about being back home, first year to lead this Hillcrest Christian Cougars. How you doing there, Coach McDavid?
I'm good. It's kind of a dream come true in a way. I started going to Hillcrest in the fourth grade, graduated in 17 from there. It's a job I've always wanted. It's always been a dream of mine to, be a coach for one, but to come back as the coach at Hillcrest is kind of a blessing, Just trying to get back to where we used to be in football.
Now, I know everybody enjoyed coming home. Some people have told me, it's best to go off and then come back to learn. How was it when you got that phone call and said, hey, we want you to come back?
It was a weird time, It was I knew that going into it was not the same Hillcrest as I remember. But overall, it's kind of excitement of getting to come back to where I started, getting to come back to where I grew up playing ball, and kind of give back to people that kind of helped raise me in a way.
Now, how does it feel coming back home, though? It's not the same Hillcrest how it was when you were here. A few different administration, a few different looks in the locker room, on the football field. Now, I know that you were accustomed playing 11-man football, but now they're down to 8. What type of adjustment was that, coming back home and things look a little different?
It was definitely a big change for me, especially coming from 11. I was at Central Hines for a while, and being at a pretty good program, then coming to an 8-man program. The speed of the game is a lot different. You're used to having 40, 50 guys. Now we're a big team with 20, and so it's a big change in that aspect. But as the school goes, it's positives and negatives. You're seeing a lot of negatives in a way of things aren't the way it used to be or things are the way it should be, but you see it, the way I see it is like it's got good bones. It's got a good place to start from here and kind of build off of that and kind of get it not to where it used to be, but something better.
All right, with that, like I said, I know it's exciting being back home, but it's a little different. Now, you're used to, at this level, how the guys receiving your mentality when you were playing, because I know you're going to bring that same type of mentality back when you were playing to today. Now,
right.
It's different breed of athletes now.
Oh, yeah. The way I was coached is a little tougher than I think have been, especially this day and age. And that's no fault of anybody's own. It's just kind of how things are going these days. But, I think they responded well to how I am and how I go about things. I'm definitely not, like super aggressive or anything like that, but I can tell them I think they're pretty receptive about that.
Now, the first game against Wilkinson County, were you nervous? Were you excited and just say, hey, this is just another Sunday walk in the park?
I was nervous. I don't think I slept all week. I was nervous going into it. I get nervous as an assistant, as a player, as a head coach, whatever. I was nervous the whole time. But then going into it, once they kicked the ball off, everything kind of cooled down and we was ready to play ball.
All right, now I know the game didn't turn out the way that you expected. However, what are your pros and cons for this first game?
I think the cons obviously is a loss, and if not a substantial loss, but a loss. Well, 30 points is pretty bad regardless. But one thing I think is we finished the whole game. We walked out with no injuries, and we have a place to start. We have a building off point, and I think that is just as good as winning the game in some aspects if you have a spot to start. And so that's where we're at now. We have a spot to build off of, and I think we're heading that direction now.
All right, going into game 2, I know it's a different opponent. Then you have to travel a 3-hour drive.
Right.
How are you set for this game? No, are the guys? No, you look at the team. I know you watch film.
Right.
You look at the team. Say we feel confident against these guys, or the guys say, "Hey, no, we ready, coach." Because this is compared to last year. This is a fairly new team.
Right. I think for the most part they're ready for it. Trying to get film shown to everybody and trying to get everything watched and everybody on the same page. And I think they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I think we can beat anybody any given day. But that's with any team I have. I think everybody has a chance to have their day, and I think our day is going to come, and I think it's coming soon. And I think that they're getting there. They're ready. Their confidence level is getting built back up.
Now, what surprises or what are you targeting against Claiborne Academy?
It's hard to tell. I think I'm trying to get the speed on. I think we have a lot of unmatched speed and try to utilize that. We have Shaq, who's a great athlete up front, and we have Dash, who's a great athlete up front. And those guys are big, massive guys that, once they get going, it's kind of hard to stop them. And once we get that rolling, it's going to be fairly easy to keep going.
All right, again, this is the Cougars Corner. We're here live at Canes. You see everybody's coming in. So if you're in the Byram area, stop by 7395 South Southwood Road in Byram, Mississippi, and let them know that you're here to support the Hillcrest Christian Cougars. As you can see, some of the players are holding signs out, welcome the guests in, and people are shopping. Now, I know when I first came to Canes, all the Canes that I've visited, they've been kind of crowded. It's been kind of hard to get in there. So I guess they want you to definitely download the app and go ahead and pre-order your food. So once you get in, you're in. But, Coach, how is it welcoming? This wasn't here when you was in school.
Right.
And then once you came down, you saw this restaurant, and they welcomed you to spend some time with them. How did that make you feel?
Oh, I love Canes. We had to drive so far to get it, but I love it. Now, my bank account does not love the new one in Byron for sure, but, I'll probably eat it twice a week. But, yeah, I'm glad they support us. There's a lot of schools around here to support, and for them to support us as well and see us as an actual relevancy and worth supporting is kind of a blessing in itself, too.
Now, again, we have Claiborne County. Now, looking at the stats against Wilkinson County, you finished the game with 105 passing yards and 111 rushing. But talking with some of the officials and looking at that was a long first quarter.
It felt like that first quarter was about an hour and a half. I called 2 timeouts thinking we're going into the half, and there's still 8 minutes left in the first quarter. It just felt like it went forever.
Now, I know I was announcing it. I was up in the press box announcing the game, and the official that runs the clock, the game started at 7 o'clock. The first quarter was over at 7:57. And the second quarter ended a little bit like somewhere between 8:10 and 8:20. And I was like, man, that is a long first quarter. But to look at that as from last year, watching some of the game, it was still, I considered a thorn in the Cougar side with delay of game, false starts.
Oh, yeah. First game jitters happens. But first game jitters, you're talking penalties on kickoff return, just kind of not necessarily undisciplined, but almost being too excited that's messing you up. I think that was more of our issue. And then you also have the war of attrition where we don't have as many guys. We have a large team, an 8-man aspect, but we still don't have as many as everybody else does. They have constant subs, so we've got guys that have never been playing the same position once, and they're going out there and have no idea what's going on, and they're messing up, not realizing they're messing up. But I think we're kind of at a point now, we took this week to kind of focus on going back to basics, getting back to condition a little bit more so we can play that whole game and so we can stay healthy the whole game. And on top of that, getting back to where we can, know the rules a little bit more, and so we keep making those bonehead mistakes just kind of disappear.
Now, the team is basically almost fairly new. A lot of new faces, a lot of new players. How is that implementing you with your coaching strategy? Saying, hey, we have to come in with this new attitude. Some of the guys' first time playing 8-man is, well, in my opinion, football is football.
Right.
You strap it up and on, but it's a different mindset. Say, hey, I lost a few players and we're gaining a few players. How has that been, especially to train the younger guy of that 8-man football? They hear 8-man, they think it's some type of different type of football.
Well, this is, like I said, this is my first 8-man job. I've been coaching I started coaching when I was 18 years old. So I've been coaching for a long time, and this is my first 8-man job. So what I'm trying to do is implement those 11-man principles into 8-man. That way, if we do change to 11-man, or they do go to college, play football, they know what's going on. They don't have a big confusion of where's there's 3 more people, you know. And so just trying to implement that, and you know, and I'm new to it too. So it's like we're all together and learning all together.
Now, you got the first game jitters out the way. Are the guys prepared for this upcoming game? Are they excited about it? Are they looking forward to it? Are they still a little nervous? What's the environment, the momentum of the team right now?
You know, I think we're you know, we went last week real confident. You know, everybody's excited. They're talking about how much they're going to score, and now I think it's more of a realization of we're losing the more of a me players and becoming a we as a team. I think that's what's going to help us win Friday. Is more of like we've had guys that were playing tight end, running back. They come in like, hey, let me play guard so we can. I'm more beneficial in that aspect. So you're seeing more of the selflessness in trying to like win as a unit and do something that hasn't been done in a long time.
All right. What? Again, from last game, what was a big surprise to you, or you was like, well, I expected this out of this player, or this player, really surprised me. He gave me and said, okay, now I got something to work with. Who was that key surprise player for you?
Jeff Demerit, 100% Jeff Demerit. Did not expect it because he's such a soft-spoken kid. He's very kid to himself, very intelligent, and he just lights people up playing Mike linebacker. It's insane. So I think that was kind of the biggest, surprise or shock. And it ends up being a blessing in disguise. We can move people around a little bit so he can play that spot.
Yeah, I saw that because I was looking like Jeff. He was number 12, play middle linebacker. I said I don't know, Coach, did you have to put something in him during halftime? Because that second half, it was not saying that he didn't play bad the first half, but it was a different Jeff the second half.
I honestly have no idea. We went up there, and the biggest thing was we had to get everybody cooled off real quick. The cramps were kicking in, and Jeff, he may say 12 words all week to me alone, much less anybody else. So he didn't really say much in there, and then he come out and knocking people out. So I mean, it's just that's how he is, I guess. All
right, and so who's that player that you're looking for to really step up this upcoming game?
I'm looking for a lot of people to step up. We have Caleb Stamps and Shaq, Javen Carter. They're coming in the guard roles. And, we have Deashan Lewis is, heads up the center position. He's kind of helping them guys learn the plays a little bit. We have 8th grader Deion Thurman coming back from injury. And so, he's a young guy that's just super strong, and looking for more at our quarterback, DJ Thomas, to, kind of step in and lead a little bit. But we still have guys on defense, your son Callan, him stepping up a little bit on defense. We're trying to take him off of offense, not necessarily completely, but so we can have a guy on defense that's always ready. Because having those guys, if we had the same 8 guys going into it, Callan included on offense, and now they turn around and play defense, they turn around and play punt, they turn around and play all the special teams, and so we just get gassed so quick because we don't have that next step. But now I'm looking at a lot of these guys coming in for that next step. We have a lot of new faces and a lot of new spots this week based off of them trying a little bit harder. And so I'm looking for these young guys stepping in.
Again, this is the Cougars Coaching Corner here live at Raising Cane's 7395 South Sour Road in Byron, Mississippi. Definitely come on down and help support the Cougars. This today from 5 to 8 is actually a little bit out to 6 o'clock, so definitely come on down to 8 o'clock and let them know that you're here to support. And spend some time with them. And I know they kind of look around and say, I hope these kids don't come in here and make a big mess, but some of them can start working. So I know that some of them are looking for jobs, so this is a place where you can come and find a job as well. Coach, again, after the first game, you look at some of the bumps and bruises that you face, a lot of cramping, in which you kind of expected that with the humidity and some things that your players place in their body. Did you guys do things a little different in reference to hydrating and proper nutrition for this upcoming game?
We're staying hydrated as best we can. We're trying to get everybody, drink liquid IV, all the hydration thing we're doing now is the leggings at the hat, the bicep bands on the legs, all that stuff they don't realize is making them hot. They wear the ski mask, thinking all that looks cool, and all it's doing is trapping heat. So we kind of at halftime, we kind of came in and took all that off immediately, and that kind of gave us a little booster. So maybe we'll start off doing that the next Friday to be up even higher.
But with the, I know the guys, they want to look pretty with all this stuff on. Sometimes they're not aware of how that can like hinder their body, how they can make an impact on their performance, especially with breathing, this, letting air come in and releasing the sweat and stuff like that. Are you at a point now where you're saying you want to put a jug in their hand on Friday so that they can definitely hydrate, get the Powerade and a banana or some type of fruit in them?
Oh, for sure. We gotta be hydrating for next week now. You know what I mean? Just staying ahead of the game because it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot for a long time, and we gotta just keep staying on top of it. And it's a blessing and a curse. Being in school, you can't really have drinks and stuff in school, but like catching them when they can, drinking water, and try to pump Powerade and try to jump liquid IV and all those things in them to get them to that staying hydrated, much less getting hydrated.
Now, with the school being located in South Jackson, I know South Jackson has been having a water issue, especially with fountain water. And some of the students, that the school doesn't allow students to walk around with bottled water. How can you kind of get a leeway with some students make sure they drink water because of this humidity, because you don't want that to cramp? But has the administration say, hey, well, we'll give you a leeway a little bit in between classes to drink you some water, but you can't get it from the fountain.
Right. It hasn't been there yet, and we haven't really needed it yet. I try to make sure that we have enough water at practice. We have enough water. We need it. Something happens to our water, I'll go get water. Like whatever we need to do to make sure we're staying hydrated. It's just one of those things. If you do for one, you got to do for all. So if it means a football team gets to drink water, everybody drink water, then we'll just try to hydrate outside of school. And that's fine with us. We'll figure it out what we can.
All right, now, Coach. Now let's take a time back into history. What was it like when you were at Hillcrest?
It was a lot more people. There's some buildings that are being not used now that were full. Every room had somebody in it teaching. There's kids everywhere. We had a JV team, Pee Wee team. I mean, at one point in time, we had a 9th grade team and then a 7th and 8th grade team, and then you still had your varsity team. And so it was that's every sport. And so now you're seeing like less sports for one, like less sports teams. We don't have a JV. We're trying to get a Pee Wee started. I don't know if it's this year or next year or whenever, but we're trying to get something started. And rebuild that young football culture of start them young, so when they get to me, they know what they're doing. And
yeah, Coach, how important is it for them to start young to learning the proper techniques of football? Because I know you probably see some Pee Wee football that they're teaching it. They just said the biggest guy just block the person in front of you, and the biggest guy, get the ball, just tell him just run, go for the end zone.
Right.
How important is it to teach him fundamental at an early age, starting age?
I think Pee Wee and rec league ball, 5th and 6th grade, a little bit under 5th and 6th, 4th grade. I think all of that has to be developmental and has to be fundamental, because if you're worried more about winning at that age, then you're not building a program. Now, rec league's a little different because there's not building a school program, you're building your rec league program, so that's a little different. You want to win. But if you're building a school program, fundamentals is the key. Get them started, getting them in the same program a high school does. Maybe like slack off a little bit on some things, but trying to get them in the same offense, same defense. They can learn that. So when they get to junior high, now it's more I need to win now, but still develop the younger guys. We're winning.
Now, I know with this is your first year back. Are you looking forward to build a program and build the foundation is being laid right now? Like I said, it was a much improvement from last year, team. The way that you guys finished the game last Friday, you land the foundation. So, what does it look like for the future of the Cougars?
We take everybody we can. You can make something out of nothing essentially. But I think the foundation is there. I think we still have the right people in place to make that happen. I think that there is a way to build up to an 11-man program eventually, sooner than later. and I think that's where we need to be. I think our time at 8-man has been fun, but I think it's time to be done and move on.
What's the advantage and disadvantage of 8-man compared to 11?
To me, it's just the competition level. 8-man, you have people that go, and there's nothing wrong with 8-man. I mean, I'm coaching 8-man. I took a job doing 8-man. But it's like its own little world. 11-man, there's more responsibility for different people. The game's played a little differently, and it's just that's how you build up. Even programs are getting money in is people want to come see you play. You get the news to come out. People there's a stigma against 8-man, and if we want to build programs, we have to get back to where we can get people to come watch.
With that, how are the other sports supporting each other? I know, especially when you're in a private school or a small school, that everybody has to support each other. How has the support been for this upcoming football season for you?
I didn't take a job till recently, so I haven't seen it all summer. But from what I can see, there's a lot of people in the stands. Especially my first game, there's a lot of people there. I think there could be more. I think there should be more. It's a home game. You're there anyway. You just might as well stick around and watch a football game. I'm not expecting anybody to drive 3 hours to come watch us in Louisiana, but if we're right by the house, you might as well just come on and watch us. That way it builds our guys' confidence. They see the people, the girlfriend or whoever in the stands. They come and help them, the teacher or whatever. And so now you're building more of a community within our school.
All right, now let's take a step back from football right now, from sport, because like I said, there's student athletes. The athlete part is the second part. How have they been in the classroom?
And I mean, I teach all of them except for I think 3 students. I don't teach the 8th graders. There's 3 8th graders. I don't teach them, but I teach everybody else. I see them at some point today, and most times twice a day. For the most part, they try to push your patience a little bit, but they're all good kids, and they're not going to do anything to push that line. I think they're all smart and intelligent, and they just got to push themselves a little bit more.
Now, in being a former athlete, being a former coach, current coach, how do you think the game of football will help them in life?
Structure is a big thing. You have there's people in charge of you. There's somebody below you. There's somebody equal to you. And football is a big time of structure. You have to be somewhere at some certain time doing a certain thing. And that's going to help build a job because the same way as a job. You have a boss who's going to tell you to be there at a certain time. You got to be there. And so that's what we're trying to get to is build the structure for them because, half these kids may even go to college. They may not go to college. College is not for everybody. But if it's my job to make them good people, whether we win a ball game or not, they have to be good people in society. And so that's what we're trying to get to.
All right, now, with you being an alumnus of Hillcrest, have you reached out to some of your former teammates and former coaches that ask, hey, come by and take a look and see what I'm doing, or some type of way to help support the program?
I try to. All of my coaches actually coach still, so it's kind of hard for them. They got their own Friday nights, and I think everybody still don't know yet because I haven't really put it all out there yet that I'm the head coach at Hillcrest. I've had a lot of support. The people that do know, and I've reached out to some of my friends about certain things, and everybody's all real happy about it, and may catch a game or whatever, and I would encourage all of them to come watch us play. And it'd be a great time to see maybe even alumni night and get a lot of people out there. In previous years, the class of 2014, 10 years ago, it's their 10-year reunion as a good group of ball players, and I think it'd be a real cool thing to honor them as well as kind of let them give back to our community a little bit.
Now, Friday Night Lights, that's a big thing around here in the state of Mississippi or anywhere throughout the world, especially high school football. What are your expectations for them for this upcoming game?
Just to be disciplined. That's the biggest thing. Wins or loss, that's how most of it marks the game. But I want to see us grow as a team, and we still got from right now 9 more ball games. Starting tomorrow, we have 8, and we got to get there and build off from that and build off for last Friday. And if we win, that's great. If we don't, as long as we keep progressing and not regressing, that's a win to me.
Now, if you just had the magic wand right now and they say, here you go, Coach. If you had a magic wand in hand, what is something that you say that you would need to take Hillcrest football to that next level?
it's hard to say. You know, there's a lot of things we could do. We could have a new locker room. We could rebuild. You know, getting better equipment. You know, we're still using some of the equipment that I used when I played, and even before then, it was old when I had it. You know, and just, you know, new helmets, more footballs, more people to help us in the concession stand, more this and that. Practice uniforms, practice pregame gear. You know, we're wearing T-shirts that we had on the day before. You know what I mean? Just things like that help us. But the biggest thing is just be support, honestly.
Now, what is something that you want to say to follow, because this is going through Hillcrest, and hopefully that it will reach the alumni to get them excited about the next upcoming home game, because I know you have 2 road games going to Louisiana, going back-to-back to Louisiana, but the next home game against Park Place. I know we're kind of looking ahead. I know it said take one game at a time, but this is something to reach the alumni to definitely come on out and support. What is something that you can say to them?
You know, I remember playing Park Place when I was a kid, and it wasn't a rival, but it's not a far cross-town rival. You know, it's just in Pearl. Getting them to come back and help us, support us like people supported them. You know, I remember people being in the stands supporting us when we played them. The same thing for these kids. These kids deserve that too. You know, we're not quite there yet in support, but it'd be nice to have that. And alumni, they were the lifeblood. You know what I mean? We had guys that graduated come back and watch us play, talk to us, and it'd be nice to have that for these guys too, because, you know, whether you know these kids or not, they're still Hillcrest just as much as you are. And I think that would be a cool deal for them to come back and support us, and maybe we can do something, have alumni night that night or whatever. But it would be cool to see all the people come back.
So, Coach Goodwin, I'm coming to you right now. So you hear that we need to go ahead and create alumni night. So we're finna go ahead and get that worked out, either homecoming or the next home game. So Coach McDavid just giving me some bright ideas right now. So Coach Goodwin, if I come talk to you, don't run from me now. I know I got much love for you, Coach. Now, Coach, before we get out here, what is it else that you want to close out with before we ready to go get us some Raising Cane's and help support the Hillcrest Cougars?
If you can't be there in Louisiana, I understand. But if you show your support some way, that's fine too. Just be sure to support the kids in the school. That's the biggest thing. They deserve it.
Yeah. Again, we're here live at Raising Cane, 7395 South Sawyer Road in Byron, Mississippi. Definitely come on by and get you some chicken fingers. They got chicken finger salad, chicken finger sandwich, chicken fingers by itself, chicken finger with fries and coleslaw, and a Texas toast, which is good, and a dipping sauce, which is awesome also. They even got kids combo and a big jug of gallon of lemonade. So definitely come on out to Cane's and get something to eat, and just let them know that you're supporting the Hillcrest Christian Cougars. All right, Coach, now I know we're going to get out here and go and welcome some more visitors in. Last word before the final coin toss,
Yes, sir.
What do you say to before the guy before you go out hit the field?
You know, just play hard, stay healthy is the main thing, and I just tell them, you know, do what they need to do. We're here for a reason. Let's show them why we're here.
All right, Coach McDavid, Hillcrest Christian Cougars head football coach. I really do appreciate the time. But, you know, hey, it's time for us to get out here now. We've got to go welcome the guests so they can continue to help donate to the Hillcrest so that we can do some things around the school. There's some things that need to be done. So if you're listening, you have a business, if you want to support, come on out. You can see the address, 4060 South Sawyer Road in Jackson, Mississippi. Come on, stop by and see how you can be a helpful hand. But again, we thank you for joining us here at Cane's, Raising Cane's, 7395 South Sawyer Road. Come on by and help support the Cougars. We're up out of here now. Until next time, see you next Thursday, Friday at the game.